we invite you in, God. Be with us, Lord God, as we go forth with this podcast. Be in the midst, Lord God. Every word we speak, everything we say, every comment, Lord God, you orchestrate, Lord. Hey, you guys, welcome to Key Speaks Podcast. It's your girl, Kay Francis, your host, and I'm back with another video. Today, I have a very special guest, an incredible guest, my big sis. You guys don't want to miss this episode. Go ahead and tag a friend, tell a friend, and hit the like, share, and subscribe button. This episode is going to be lit, y'all. It's going to be fun. Y'all going to laugh. All of that. Maybe even cry. But nevertheless, I have an incredible special guest, my big sis. And this season, I thought she would be the perfect person to start this season. Previous seasons, we had testimonies where people came on, they told their story, gave, a little testimony where God brought them from it, how they got to where they at. We're going to do a little storytelling, but we're going to switch it up just a little bit, y'all. Y'all, we have a treat in store. So hit the like, share, and subscribe, and tune in as my sister, Big Sis, introduce herself.
Hey y'all, hey, my name is Angela Lewis Warren, and I am a child of the Most High God. That's what you need to know, that I'm a child of the Most High God. There it is.
Not to mention CEO of Be True to You podcast.
Be True to You hair. I'm also an author of a Be True to You. The book is Be True to You. I am a mother of 4. I am a lover of my sisters. I am one that knows that God has chosen me in spite of what man says about me.
Come on now. In spite of.
Yeah, period, poo. It don't even matter.
In spite of. But that's why I brought her on today, y'all. Today, I brought her on to talk about her podcast, talk about the Be True to You, everything Be True to You. And like I said, this season, I want to start out this season with that particular statement because that's where I'm kind of like at. I'm kind of growing into myself and growing into my own skin, feeling comfortable, feeling, ready to finally be free and be true to myself.
Yeah. It's not always easy. That's what people fail to understand. To be true to oneself cause you to give people power to talk about you. You give people power to judge you. And then sometimes people feel like being true is weak, but it's not. To be able to stand in your own truth and let people know when you're going through, when you let people see your struggle, they thinking, oh my gosh, she's telling everybody her business. But what you're doing is you're freeing yourself from the naysay. You're freeing yourself from the whispering. You're freeing yourself from the opinion of people. You're freeing yourself from being what they call blackmail material. I tell people all the time, you can't blackmail me because I'm going to tell my business before anybody else can tell my business. And if you want to know the truth, come to me because I'm not going to leave out no details. I'll tell you the whole dirty truth. They're going to leave out something, but not me. I'm not going to leave it out. But I can't say that that's something that came from me. Right. I can say that Be True You truly came from God. I remember in 2005, they called me into ministry. And I've told this story many a times before. Surely God did not call me to be a minister. Surely he did not call me to be a pastor, because at that point, I didn't even like females, for one, because most of my struggles, most of my pain came from females. Yeah. But I did learn in that God, whatever you go through, your testimony, your trials is what God is calling you to. And so when he called me to minister, I was like, how the hell? And I literally was like, how the hell? It was like, you can't say that to God. I'm like, yes, I can. I was like, how did you call me to minister when first of all, I don't like your people. Second of all, I don't walk around saying, I'm blessed and highly favored. Oh, God bless you. Now. I don't walk like that. I don't wear the hats. I don't wear the big suits. I'm into fashion. I love designer things. I love the glam life. And so a lot of people felt, or should I say, I felt like a lot of people felt I was shallow. And I still say people don't think that I know God. They don't know the relationship I have with God because y'all, I got 2 sisters also that's minister. And, one is apostle. One is Pastor Mary, the great intercessor. And when I intercede for people, I be like, God got it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, we're just different, And so some people expect for me to be like my sisters. And no, I'm not.
That's good. You start out talking about some people really look at it as weak. But me personally, I look at it as power, like superpower, like to just be free from like it's a lot of work to pretend and to live up to other people's expectations.
It is. It's extremely draining as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing like being true to yourself. You said the right word, freedom. You get freedom because you're not held to somebody else, captive to somebody else's thought of you. But it takes work to do that. Trust me, it takes work. And it takes, for me, it took me going through scandals. It took me literally going through things and God speaking to me, letting me know that everything happened for a reason. And Romans 8:28 is my favorite scripture because I remember laying on my floor crying and telling God after I decided to choose. It's a long story. I don't know if you got time, but after I decided to choose to really be a Christian, and when I say that, I mean really take on the calling to serve, take on the calling to be a minister. That's when my past tried to come back and destroy me. My past is before you
get into that. So
okay.
You before the call, before all of that, do you feel like you was already being true to yourself?
I felt like I was being true to myself, but at the same time, there was a lot about me that I didn't accept. For instance, I didn't talk proper. I talked Ebonics,
Wow.
And so I just felt like when it came down to being true to myself as far as the Christian world in church, I couldn't find who I was in the kingdom, right?
Listen, that is so crazy. You telling my story.
Now, when it come down to truth, I always been true to me. When I used to sneak out the house, my mama be like, "You snuck out the window." I be like, "No, I went out the back door." So I've never been one to lie about my life, or things. I've never been one of those. So, but even when you come over to the Christian,
you went out the back door.
Yeah, you can't keep asking me the same thing over and over because I can't keep telling that lie. I'm gonna tell the truth. I can't. That ain't who I am. I can't be bothered.
So being true to you requires telling the truth.
Being
a true teller. Because, how can you be true to yourself if you gotta shy away? I was one that, even when it comes down to friends, where I really want to tell them, I find a nice way to say it, something instead of just letting them know what's what, or I won't say because I don't want to hurt their feelings or whatever. But that's not being. You know what I'm saying? That's not being true to you.
It's funny you said that. I can tell things because I'm tone sensitive, right? So you can't talk to me any kind of way. You got to make sure you come to me with the right tone because if you don't, I'm not going to receive it, period. So it's not what you say to me, it's how you say to me. And my sister be like, "Angela, you got to listen to people." I say, they better tell God to tell me first because other than that, I'm not listening. And I wanted to say that I have a friend and it is so hard to, tell them how you really feel because you don't want to hurt their feelings, right? Not because you don't like them, and but a true friend, you got to be truthful. There's absolutely no way that I can have a thought or feel a way and not let you know if I consider you to be my friend, if I value the friendship. But
some people just expect them to know, some people the way they start to act, get quiet, or whatever it may be, they responsibility expect if it's a friend for them to know. Then I feel like they be knowing when they be
wrong.
Yeah,
but when your husband do wrong, he know, but you still have a conversation with him, right?
Yeah.
So when our friends do wrong, even though they know it, you have to deal with it. Certain things most things, everything you have to confront, right? You can never change anything you're not willing to confront. And so if you never confront it, it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better.
Yeah, I've learned that. It took me a whole lot of years, but I learned that.
Yeah.
I used to just let things just go. I be feeling the way, but I just let it go and then forget about it. But then it keep on happening again. And but now I'm like, man, bro.
Yeah.
Now I'm to the place where I can really say, like, man, I don't really like that. Like, I feel like you're trying to get over at this point or whatever.
Yeah, because you got to keep your peace. You got to hold your peace. And also in talking, you teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to handle you. But if we're always quiet or we're so concerned that we don't want to ruffle someone's feather or stir up the water, who's that destroying? You. Because all that, you holding all that in you. And I've learned that. Let it go, baby. Let it go. You gonna get it, okay? You gonna get it. And I'm a still of the Lord. But I'm gonna tell you about yourself.
See, you gonna get it, but you ain't gonna get it from me. I'm gonna go probably vent to my husband or another friend about the other friend. That's
now you wrong. You dead wrong, sis. I'm gonna try to tell you. You can't be. What the Bible say? What does the Bible say? It don't say go tell a friend and tell a friend to tell you. It say when you have aught with a brother.
No, like venting, like you know.
It's okay, but you eventually. I ain't trying to tell
everybody, but a best friend, husband, like. But I'm saying that's how I was. I'm being real now. That's how I was. Like,
I mean, I tell my husband everything. We have pillow talk all the time. But trust me, my husband had told me, he was like, I'd be like, I'm gonna let them have it. He was like, don't do that. Don't say that. He said, because every time you say you're gonna do something, you do it. I'd be like, because I used to be like, oh, I'm gonna hit him in the head with a shoe. He was like, don't do that. So I get that you have to talk some things out with your husband or your best friend, but at the same time, eventually you definitely got to have that conversation.
Yeah. In the right tone. She said the right tone. Y'all gotta be the right tone.
Right tone.
I mean, we know that, but like we know that you can't be with no rah-rah type stuff, but gotta be a level of respect, honor and respect.
Yeah. That comes with maturity too.
What would you say, like, girl, let me talk to you for a minute.
I tell that.
What that look like?
Period. I've done it to customers. Listen, let me have a talk with you outside. I've been like, yeah, I'm not the stylist for you. Period. I've been like, I'm not the stylist for you. People come when their personality go together, and your personality and my personality don't go together. I'm not the stylist for you. I have a problem with my brothers. I'd be like, let me talk to you outside. Sister-in-law, girl, I just had an issue with one of my sister-in-laws, and I was like, can I talk to you outside? And I tell her, because I can't fester. It can't stay in me. Because if it stay in me, then I can't be around you. And the more I hold it, the anger just rise up in me. I get it. So, no, you got to get it. So, ain't no need for me to walk around with all this. You're going to have to know what's going on. Period. Boo.
Yeah. So so you say you haven't always been like that.
Yeah, I'm better.
But with God, he had to
tame it, because I've always gonna let you know how I feel about you, but it may be with a lick, because she don't been arrested for aggravated battery. So
would you say? So it's not really. It does have something to do with personality.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that kind of like they're not confrontational. They're not like, and I think that plays a part of them not being able to be true to themselves. Some people may be more easygoing. Like, what would you say to a person that's like real easygoing, soft spoken, and how would they be able to be true to themselves?
Well, confronting people is not just the only thing that calls you to be true to yourself.
Right.
What calls you to be true to yourself is just being honest with who you are. Right? You can say, well, I'm just a person that's not confrontational, and really be one of those people. Or you can really be a person that's confrontational, but you try to pretend to be pious when you know you're not. Being true to yourself is understanding the good, the bad, the ugly about yourself, and being okay with it. And those things that you can change, you change. Those things that you can't, you just tell God, okay. But if you need some work, you put on your big girl panties and do the work. Being true to yourself is really about being honest with self. Not so much as how people see you, but what do you see, how you see yourself? What are you telling yourself about who you are? And when you do that, you're going to show up authentic. You're not so busy looking for validation for someone else. I get it. Everybody don't like me. It's okay. Everybody in the Christian world don't like my bald head. It is okay. And I'm okay with my bald head. So whether you're okay with it or not, it doesn't take no skin off my back.
Yeah. So it's an attitude to have.
It's an attitude, and it's a belief about self. The confidence in who God has called you to be. When you're not sure of who you are, then you're looking for people to tell you who you are.
Right.
And when you're looking for people to tell you who you are, you're showing up according to what they say, not what God say.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't care.
She don't care, y'all. She don't care.
I don't care.
She care, but she don't care.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, like, for not just confrontation, because if you like a quiet, meek person or whatever, being true to you, you just know to like to avoid yourself. Like if you don't want to be around that, you just excuse yourself. Like you know that being true, like you're not gonna keep putting yourself in that environment or that atmosphere. You're just gonna do something else, shy away or remove yourself from the situation.
Correct.
So yeah, I get it. So how did you? So you just pretty much be true to you. You say you got the podcast, you got the hair. Be true to you, pretty much everything.
Yeah.
How did you? I mean, I guess.
How did Be True to You come up?
Yeah, like how did you,
girl? Let me tell you,
carry it on, like carry that message, that lifestyle. Go ahead.
Because God gave me Be True to You. Literally, I was in my closet praying about should I become minister, accepting my calling, not thinking I was good enough, not thinking I talked proper enough, not thinking I knew enough scripture, not thinking that, I was the image of what it looked like to be in the world as far as a minister at that time. And I was in my closet and God said, Angela, be true to you. Literally to the point where he said, Angela, be true to you. And then he even gave me the spelling. That's why I spell Be True to You the way I do. That's why sometimes when people say BTRU and then they'll break it up and I'll be like, no, don't do that. They be like, but I don't care. Because I'm standing on what God gave me, and he gave me Be True to You. And so that's how Be True to You came up, and to the point where I was even confused as far as Be True to You, that I wanted to make everything Be True to You. First, he gave me Be True to You apparel. And so I was like, well, since I got Be True to You apparel, now I'm finna open up a salon. I'm going to name that Be True to You hair. And then I said, well, I'm going to have me a talk show, and I'm going to name it Be True to You Talk Show. And so it just carried on, and now it went from Be True to You Talk Show, Be True to Hair, Be True to You Movement. And the funny thing about the Be True to You, when I tell you years ago, and I was trying to tell you that I went through a scandal. And the scandal I went through, this person would always say, the Be True to You later, 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 the Be True to You later. So then I didn't want to use Be True to You anymore. And I remember God again. He's such an amazing God. He said, they're trying to silence you. And so that's when my openings came. Hey, what's up, world? It's me, your girl, Angela. Welcome to Be True to You. And I would say, it's the Be True to You lady. It's the Be True to You lady. That's what you got to do. You got to take your power back. That thing that the enemy is trying to use against you, you got to take that thing and you got to turn that situation around. And knowing that the enemy wanted to silence Be True to You, knowing that the enemy was trying to make me out of a liar, when God had given me Be True to You. And here it is, someone trying to make me show up as a liar, make me show up as a false prophet. And God was like, no. And so what that did when I was like, it's the Be True to You lady, it was the best advertisement for us, okay? The best advertisement. People started seeking me out. Then I saw why my numbers growing, why my followers growing. And the people were like, you the Be True to You lady? I'd be like, and period. and I that also took me to being real with who I am. And so before people would try to tell me what they heard, don't come to me telling me what you heard, because I want to know, why do people feel so comfortable to tell you that? And true, what did you say? And so I just tell the truth. And I tell it before somebody else, yeah, she thought I wanted to go with her. Yeah, and I just tell it.
Yeah. You say you can't hold nothing over your head.
I'm not,
I like the fact that you say God gave you Be True to You. Like, do you know how freeing, like, relieving that is? Like, just be true to you.
Just be true to me.
And to hear it and can run with it. That takes so much.
Yeah, he accept me, right? Because he telling me, it reminds me when he say he knew you when you was formed in your mother's womb. And he know all the things, good, bad, or different, that I was going to experience. But yet he still put a stamp of approval over me. And so this is why I can walk in the room knowing that nobody like me, and it's gonna be okay. And even in the Christian world, girl, I just went to an event 2 weeks, last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago. One of the Saturdays I went, and it was people that didn't like me, but it was okay.
But how you know?
Girl, you got a spirit of discerning.
Okay.
And one thing I know, when people make you feel a certain way, that's exactly how you was meant to feel. We push the grace override button. We give them grace. Maybe it wasn't all that. Maybe it was. Yes, it was. Oh, yes, it was. Especially when you know you don't have anything towards them in your heart. Yeah, you don't just feel it for no reason.
I don't know now, because some people, you know, with the days we living in now, some people have mental illness. They think everybody against them.
I'm talking about me though.
Okay,
I ain't cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? I ain't cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And you know, you're right, because some people do think, I'm not the one that feel like people are jealous of me because I don't feel like I have anything to be jealous of. I don't think people don't like me because I'm pretty. I don't think people don't like me because, you know, I got all that. I'm fine. I don't think there's a reason for people not to like me, right? So I don't go into an environment or a situation thinking, oh, they don't like me, because I ain't got a pot to piss in, a one to throw out, and nothing for the piss to land on people. So what? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah.
See, I asked that because, like, I get that around people that's close. Like like you said, discerning. Like, you can discern when somebody kind of just tolerate you, they don't really like you. Mm-hmm. And sometimes God will really allow you to hear their heart or their
conversation. You know what that little birdie told me?
Like, how
I mean, like, really you can literally hear what they're saying about you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we ain't Jesus, we ain't God, but you know how Jesus kind of can hear their heart when they mumble in their heart. And it's like, I promise you, like, I hear it sometimes. And I know it's God, because I'm one of them persons, like, I'm scared to do anything on my own. Like, I don't want to be in my own. I'm always like examining myself and put myself before God to make sure, okay, God, is this you or is this me? That's right. Is there something in me like that making me feel like this that shouldn't be? But God will reveal, you know what I'm saying, how people are and how they really feel.
And then the word say, try the spirit by the spirit. Like, if you really feel it, you go up to them, you talk to them, and you could tell how they respond to you. Be like, yeah, I was right. Yeah. But even in that, you don't supposed to walk around with anger. You're supposed to pray for them, and you still show love. I still show love.
Yeah.
I still smile. I still not out of phoniness, but as far as that, you're not gonna steal my power.
Right. Mm-hmm. When I know somebody like in my proximity and they, you know, feel some kind of way, sometimes I'm all up in their face, like, showing them love. What's up, girl? Like, I'm all up in it. Like, when I know
genuine,
whatever,
right?
Yeah, genuinely, but not like, I don't know, but you got to make sure that you ain't walking in pride or none of that. Like, because when you say you don't care, like, you know, people don't like you, you walk up with your head. Some people can mistake that as pride or take that from pride or arrogance.
Yeah. Yeah, especially like sometimes when I be like, I don't care. I don't care to the point where you don't matter, but I don't care to the point where you don't matter. You don't matter because you're not God, you know?
Right.
They're not God. And when I say you don't matter, meaning that I've done my best, I've reached out, but at the same time, you're not going to make me die down in who God has called me to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, back to the name God gave you, Be True to You, right? And it's like almost like the same thing with me with Key Speaks podcast. I wanted something like, I didn't want it to be about me. And I didn't want it, like, I wanted just something like, I heard so many gospel girl, in totality, life in perspective, like so many like good names. And I'm like, I want something like good, Key Speaks on. But I didn't realize that God had a purpose and a plan. Because you were saying, oh, God say, just be true to you. He's going to use all of you like to get the glory. You even talked about the scandal and like how people kind of made you feel like you want to shy away and like not want to, you know what I'm saying? But God wanted to use it. If there's no story, there's no glory. You know what I mean? And so with God giving me Key Speaks, it's like, dang, like now I'm starting to see like He had a plan for that. You know what I'm saying? What I've been through, who I was, who I'm becoming. And now I'm speaking. Man, God is simply amazing.
He is. I told God, God, why did you give me Be True to You? People feel like, for instance, I live out loud. And when I say I live out loud, I share everything that I experience in life. I share when my husband had went through legal battles. I shared when we lost everything. I shared when I had sold things. I shared when my left breast was on Facebook because everybody was talking about me. I share all of those things.
You put it out there?
No, I shared it. I shared a little clip and I'm flirting, and because I wouldn't indulge, and I was like, this can't be. We're Christians. I'm married. We can't do that. So they was like, I'm gonna make it look like you're a false prophet. I'm gonna make it look like you and your husband are swingers and all those things. And so this is why I say, why you just like, for instance, I know people that don't been through a whole lot. I know people who out there have behind the pulpit, in the pulpit, they're having a threesome, they're doing same sex. If you're doing same sex, that's your story, not mine. And doing all kind of matter of evil. And they always get away with everything, right? Everything I go through is so public. I mean, everything I go through. It's like the world know. And God was like, this is why he gave me Be True to You. Because you can't hide, right? He don't mean for me to hide. But he also let me share my story, share my trauma, because I'm not the only one. I'm just the only one talking about it, right? And so me talking about it is in hope. I feel like this is why he had me do it, in hope that you would see that you can too. You can overcome. Yeah. You can come from under somebody's thumb. You can overcome your past. You can surpass the enemy. And so if you don't have an example, you would think that you're alone. And I think God used me for that, because if you look at it, everybody looks so polished. Oh yeah. Everybody only talk about when they buy a house or when they buy a car. They don't talk about the struggle to keep the house or to keep the cars. And not everybody have that struggle. Even when my husband and I first got married, I would tell all the things I didn't like. People pretend like their marriage is perfect. But now, I believe me sharing those weaknesses, sharing those things that I didn't like about my husband, sharing those things that I didn't like in our marriage is why we're together 28 years, going on 29 years, because we dealt with those things. I didn't hide it. I didn't sleep on the rug. I didn't pretend. And I know so many people now married. And on the outside, they look like they got it going on. But because of the conversation they don't have with me, I know you don't like your husband and your husband don't like you. I know you're not even faithful to each other. That's not my story. That's not my story. My husband is my best friend. He get on my nerves, but honey, he's my best friend. God knew exactly what I needed. Is he perfect? No. Is he perfect? No. Am I perfect? Heck no. But are we perfect for each other? Absolutely.
Yeah. So God can trust you with going through it. He know that he can get the glory out of your life. But a lot of people can't go through, like, that's a lot of people live in that fear, like, of being like exposed and put out there. You know what I'm saying? God, he couldn't just choose anybody. You know what I'm saying? He had to choose somebody with your attitude, your personality, your mindset.
Yeah, it took me a couple years to come into being a misfit, right? And I realized that I'm a misfit for a reason. That he didn't want me to blend in with cliques. He didn't want me to be like anyone else. And so me being a misfit, me being rejected is also what protected me. And I didn't know that at the time. All I was like, nobody like me, nobody like me. But I realized he didn't want me to be a part of that, because he didn't want me to adapt their mindset or or start acting like them or treating people like they treated me. My thing is I'm for the underdog, right? I'm for those that nobody like. I'm for those that nobody don't want. And this is why my talk show is not about famous people or real popular people. Y'all go over there for that. I need somebody who feel like nobody's seen them, nobody hear them, to come and share their story, and especially if their story can help somebody else.
Oh yeah, because you friend a lot of people. You friend a lot of people. Like, you're that living example. Because, like,
I'm a friend to a lot of people.
No, you're freeing a lot.
Oh, freeing. I feel say I got friends like
no, freeing.
Okay, I'm freeing.
A lot of people, like, you're that example of what being true to you look like, and walking in that.
You too, sis. You too.
Like, I'm one that you pretty much help free, because, like, I have it in my head. Because sometimes when I want to say something, I want to do something, it's like, dang, Like I'm always, like I said, always self-examining. Like, is this right or whatever? But then like you, like I'm one to want to be myself, but I don't know, like not to get anybody's approval. Like I always have to like kind of check, like, okay, there's not, is this pride? Is this, you know what I'm saying? Always like making sure, because I want to be true to me, but I want to stay in right standards with God. You know what I mean?
Well, he said, examine yourself first. So you're doing the right thing by you examining yourself. But can I be frank? I think you over-examine yourself. I think that you don't see the greater in yourself. I think you don't see the gift that God has created you to be. I think whether it be environment, whether it be some of the things you experienced in life, you don't see yourself differently and wonderfully made.
I think I'm starting to now. Like I'm starting to see. I think I'm growing into that. But like you say, you live out loud. Like living it out loud. Sometimes when I'm in my like head, no, like sometimes when I'm in my freedom, walking in my freedom, I kind of feel like I want to kind of pull back a little bit. Like it might be too much. Like it might come off too aggressive or whatever.
Well, is it God telling you that? Because you saying you caught yourself. So certain things, God may be telling us, okay, that's a little too much. Like I got a reel in my phone that I want to share so bad, but I haven't got approved from God to share it because it's showing, a part of my belly. And so I haven't got the approvals for that. So you have to figure out, is it God that's telling you to pull back or is it yourself that's telling you to pull back?
Yeah, I definitely gotta, because even with going forth, that's my battle. Like, okay, is this God or is this me? Even though I know I ain't as smart and as wise as God, but like I ain't just coming up with this stuff on my own. I always like, that's a struggle with me, either going forth or drawing back. Like, okay, that might have been. But I know the way God kind of deal with me, He'll allow me to go. And then later on, Holy Spirit be like, okay, now that was a little aggressive, or that was a little too much, or whatever.
And so you want
to allow me to go through it first. Like, why you ain't stop?
You want to get there before you go.
I want to be right. Like, I want to be in right standards. I don't, not having a self-righteous spirit, but I want to be right in all I do because I genuinely care about people. Like, I care about doing the right thing. I got a good heart or whatever. So I don't want me being who I am to be to hurt people. I mean, if it needs to, those that need. But like, I want to be in good standards. I want to be in right standards. Like, I have to be.
Okay, so this is true. We all want to be in right standing, but we're never going to please everyone, and we're not for everyone. And so I hear you talking about, you really question yourself as far as asking God, okay, is this what you want me to do? I would just say continue to stand still until you really hear God's voice say yay or nay. But sometimes you got to move in faith. But I don't know if you're talking about the way you respond to people or just the way you show up in life. Both.
Well, I'm talking about, I know my...
Give me an example.
No, I know my response sometimes can be, even though I be feeling justified or whatever, like, I think it just, everything got to come with wisdom. And I just need, I really need God to like be heavy, like in my ear, like heavy on me, like heavy leading me, like every little step.
Because he ain't gonna do that. Well, he ain't gonna do that. Like he ain't gonna do that now, because it comes a time where he gotta let us lead. You're not a baby anymore. When we're a babe, God make all of this. You feel like God make all the decisions for you. You feel like like for instance, I never like to preach unless the Holy Ghost just arrest me and take over.
Yeah, take over.
And eventually he's like, now you gotta, study yourself to be approved. Get in that word, and when they call you, you ready. And so he's not gonna always do that. So he's not gonna always lead your hand. It's the relationship that you have in him that should lead you properly. Yeah, girl, it ain't easy, but it's easy.
Yeah, y'all, it ain't easy,
but it's easy.
Like, yeah. It ain't easy, but I think we all can get there. I think if you're not really being true to yourself, or you trying to,
just don't look for validation from men. That's what messes us up. When we care about people, we give them power to control us, although we don't mean to. We also give them power to manipulate us. But when you listen to the voice of God stronger than man, then it'll balance itself out. You know, it's not perfect, but it'll balance itself out. And so when you don't look for validation, so if you're waiting for someone approval for the things that you feel like God has called you to, and they don't approve you, you're gonna stay stuck.
Yeah, I don't think it's the validation from people. Like, I don't think it's validation because I'm one of the ones that don't
care. I know you shouldn't care, girl.
I
went to where was it? You came to a prayer breakfast. I went to the prayer breakfast and you had on shorts. I was like, I like her.
And see,
because nobody do that. I thought I was like the only one still Christian and still wearing.
That's what I'm talking about. My being true to me have to be, God really have to tame it, because I know I don't really care. But I don't want to just be out here like, man, I'm me. Like it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be balanced or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do like I do. Ask God, make this part of your prayer. This is a part of my prayer. This is my conversation with God every day. Papa, turn up the volume of your voice that I hear you when you speak. And then I tell him, make it so plain that a 3-year-old baby can understand. I always say that. I say that in every prayer. Now, if you hear me praying, you're going to hear me say that because that is a part of my prayer. And that's my heart. I mean it. Yeah. Papa, turn up the volume of your voice that I hear you when you speak. That make it so plain that even a 3-year-old baby can understand. That's how I move.
Yeah.
What you say, God? What you say? And that's how I do it. And if I don't hear him, if I call myself going to cuss somebody out, and when I say cuss somebody out, I mean talk like to you rough, let you have it. Yeah. If I get peace about, I'm going to let them have it, Papa. I'm going to tell them this, God, I'm telling them this, and I get peace about it, then I know he want me to go forward. And if I don't get peace about it, I know, girl, shut your mouth and sit down somewhere. Yeah. Because we feel like we have knowledge or wisdom or something that we can speak on, and sometimes he don't want us to say nothing.
Mm-hmm. And that he will do. Like, you could be that got every word that you gonna say, everything you gonna do, and then when time to do it, you feel the Holy Spirit like
pull you right on back.
Or he'll cause that person to have a whole nother, a soft answer turn way right.
Yeah,
he'll have that person in a whole nother space. Like, maybe like, dang, I can't.
Yeah, that's why everything is not black and white.
Like, I want to let you have it.
Yeah, everything is not black and white. Yeah.
Yeah. But man, I admire you. Like, I ain't there yet. I'm getting there, but you are a walking example of being true to you. God ain't made no mistakes when he gave you that name, gave you that ministry. Y'all, she do good. Man, listen. I was supposed to get my hair done yesterday, y'all. It was raining. There was a lot of things going on, but next episode, y'all gonna see how she slayed.
They might not think I can do hair because I'm bald headed and got no hair, but I can do hair, y'all. Okay, I can do hair.
She true to it too. Like,
period, Pooh.
A real one.
37 years at this thing. Okay, I tell people all the time, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. And it really, like, when it comes down to fashion, when it comes down to knowing how to walk in confidence, this is not something that I just started. You know, I may look back and realize, oh, I been did that. Or that been me. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you don't see you're greater until, you literally have to go back. Like David said, encourage yourself. Remind yourself of all the things that God done brought you from. And it wasn't me. Nobody, that wasn't me I was able to overcome that by myself. I didn't overcome that by myself. That was God's hands on me. That was God leading me through it. That was God connecting me with the right person. That was God removing the wrong people out of my life. And so that's how I move. Yeah.
So with the hair thing, the hair business, you say 37 years.
37 years. Didn't want to do hair. Didn't know I didn't. I showed didn't. When they say fathers know best, my dad told me to go to school for hair. I was in 12th grade. Well, I was going to 12th grade, had all of my credits, and they was like, what do you want to do? You going to college? I was like, no, I ain't going to college. I'm going to be a high-class hooker. Yes, I was. I was going to be a high-class hooker or stripper. I wanted to do anything to make money besides get a job. I remember when my mama, I talk a lot, y'all. I remember one day I was doing my homework. I was probably like going on the 5th grade, maybe not, between the 2nd or 3rd grade. My mom was like, do your homework, because I was watching TV. She said, do your homework where you can graduate and get a good job. I said, when I grow up, Mama, I ain't gonna never work. She said, what you gonna do? I cook 2 pork chop, a small pot of rice. I'm gonna have me a nice car and a nice house. She said, well, how you gonna have that if you ain't gonna work? I said, I'm gonna have me a lot of male friends. She said, Pop, do that homework. So, going to high school, for real though. And let me tell you why I ain't no stripper. Okay, it's 2 reasons why I ain't no stripper besides God had his hands on me. Is I didn't want to embarrass my father, and I could never make my booty pop. You know how you shake with your ankles?
Oh my God.
I could never do that. They be like, it's starting the ankle. I'd be like,
and then you would have to be a bottle girl or something.
Okay, a bartender. So I say that to say I never wanted to do hair, but my father told me to go to school for hair. And after I had my first son, and I needed a job, so I was like, I got my license. I started doing shampooing for someone with my license because I graduated with my diploma and my cosmetology license at the same time, but wouldn't do hair. And I was like, well, I'll go and do a shampoo. So I started shampooing, and got mad at the lady who I was working for. And I remember, I was like, hey, I got the same license. And that's how I started doing hair. Mm-hmm.
So did you learn anything from the school, or it was like a natural ability?
No, I learned, well, the school I went to was Atlanta Votech, and it was great. I passed my license the first time I took it, but you don't really learn anything. I learned it in school watching. And for some reason, I took on cutting, and you can't tell me nothing about no shortcut. Okay, that's why I'm going to do a shortcut class. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Man, where were you at? You know what you should have did?
What I should have did?
Went back into the school and taught.
I thought about that.
Or start your own school, because you know you the CEO.
Period, Pooh. I thought about that, and it's not too late, but it's just hard to find a good accredited school these days as far as teaching.
Or you know what, they got a thing now where you can just do, like in your shop, you can just do classes.
Yeah, like, some start doing classes.
And then they can go on and
start recording. I'm gonna get your husband to record for me. Between your husband and my husband, we can do some stuff. Okay,
yeah, man. Yeah. We gotta work. We got, and I need it. Like right now, I need something.
Okay.
I need something.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I kind of retired from, well, not indefinitely.
Oh, you said you need something to do.
Yeah, I need some money.
Yeah, because you're a hairstylist.
No more. Not anymore.
I don't see how you was able to walk away with it, because I wanted to walk away numerous times.
Me too. God kept giving it back. But I think he's I believe
this is it now.
Yeah.
Okay, you been released.
Leading me in new territories. I just ain't clear yet. Ain't got the clarity yet.
I could get that because every time I moved to out of state, I started doing like retail because I love fashion. But every time I struggle. I be like, Lisa, as long as I got my license, I got my hands, I can make money. When I tell you that I came back here, running back into doing hair, and he reminded me, don't go back to the old. So I was thinking he was thinking, you know, my old clients are not coming back, which is true. But sometimes I feel like we're so comfortable that we don't want to step out. And I'm so comfortable doing hair. Although I'm not making what I used to make, I know it is time for me to transition. So I get it. That's why I say maybe I start doing classes. I get it.
I ain't telling you. You got to do my hair. Like, that is not what I'm telling her, y'all. That's my story. That ain't your story.
You're like all my old clients. I literally have clients that I've been doing hair for 20 years. They were like, you ain't got to take nobody new, but you're going to keep doing my hair. I'll be like, okay, no problem. Yeah. So I get it.
Yeah. God gave you that.
Period. That's what they say. I'll take it. I'll take it because he's been good to me. Because I was able to raise my kids without a struggle. Yeah. You know, to the point where my middle son used to be like, Mom, we rich. I'd be like, who told you we was rich? He's like, well, that school, they say we rich. I say, tell them that your mama worked hard. You was far from rich, honey. Far from rich.
My kids be talking about, Mom, you need to do some hair. Like, you need to get back to it.
Yeah, they were spoiled. They were spoiled. Yeah. I mean, you know, I've worked for myself for 36 years. 36 years, I've been my own boss. And that's because of the grace of God, the mercy of God. Yeah. I was able to, you know, take care of my kids. Now I'm able to take care of my mom without having to clock in or somebody telling me I can't get off or put in time. Yeah,
God is faithful. Oh, I can't tell you the last time I had a job. I can't even. So not like with me not doing hair. I kind of want to go get a little job just for a few minutes. But it's like, what I'm put on my resume?
Yeah, right.
Been doing hair for so long.
Yeah, and even though I say I've been a entrepreneur for 36 years, I when I worked for companies, it was short period of times. I still did hair. So I've really had the power to work for myself for 36 years.
A born entrepreneur.
Period. I've had a boutique. I've had I want to get back into my boutique, but you know, but mostly hair. And I've done coaching. I'm a licensed coach as well. So
yeah. Tell the people where to find you at.
Girl, you can find girl, boy, man. I don't know, all of y'all that's watching. You can find me at Doing Life with Angela, because I am a vlogger as well. Okay, nice. That's where I'm trying to get to the point where I can make some coins on YouTube.
Yeah, and help us out, y'all.
I'm Doing Life with Angela on YouTube. I'm Doing Life with Angela on TikTok. I'm Doing Life with Angela on Instagram. But I'm Angela Lewis Warren on Facebook. And then I have Be True to You Hair on Instagram and Facebook. And then it's my talk show that we do, Be True to You Talk Show, is on Instagram and YouTube. And that is BTRUE, the number 2 and the letter U, Talk Show on Instagram and YouTube. Okay. That's how you can find me.
2 things before we go. You mentioned about the spelling of your name, but Be True to You, and why God, you didn't really get into the breakdown of that. But also, I forgot the other thing. Let's start there.
Why God gave me Be True to You?
No, the spelling, like why you had to spell it the way you spelled it.
Because that's the vision He gave me. Literally, only because I saw it and I knew.
That's how you pictured it.
That's how I pictured it. And yeah, because I wasn't thinking about Be True to You. He was thinking about me. Yeah. He's thinking about us when we're not thinking about Him. And then I didn't even realize Be True to You was going to be what it was. Even to the point where God gave me the colors of Be True to You. He gave me yellow, black, and white. And people are like, well, why you always do it? Because that's the color He gave me, yellow, black, and white. Yellow, black, and white is because yellow is friendly and cheering and hopeful. White is the blood of Jesus. He washed it all away, all our sin. Yes. And also black is powerful. But at the same time, does not matter the color of your skin, who you are. Be true to who you are. So that's why He gave me all those colors. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you yellow, black, green, orange, purple. Yeah, He don't care.
He don't care. And we don't either.
Yeah, and we don't either, honey. We just love you for you.
I don't care. Period. That's your little say.
I don't care. I know I say that a lot too. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care because, I know I show up in love. I show up with a pure heart. I show up never trying to harm anyone. Because truly, I never want anyone to feel like I was felt when I was on the outside looking in. I'm never trying to make you feel rejected. I'm never trying to make you second guess who you are. I'm always trying to pour into someone. I'm always trying to encourage you to reach your greater. In that, God gave me, I was built for this. I was built for this life. I am who I am because this life was created just for me. And when I realized that my life was created for me, no one else can beat me. No one can beat me being me. I don't care how you pretend. I don't care how you try. You're only as great as my last post. You're only as great as my last event. If you're trying to be me, you can never create more than what I've already created. And so He told me, you was built for this life. You are who you are because I created you for this life. I created this life just for you. In that, He also gave me greatness created you. Greatness is in you. Greatness is for you. Great you are. I used to say great you will be, but no, we're already great, right? We speak those things that we want. And I know that greatness is in me. And I used to have a problem with, and I said this in my at my party, I used to have a problem with people speaking kind to me. I used to have a problem with even speaking kindness about myself. I felt like, okay, when you talk about your greatness, you're being boastful, you've been prideful, you've been conceited. But no, we talk about people. How I was able to give you all your accolades, tell you how great you are. We do that all the time for people, but if people don't do it for you, who's going to do it for you, right? So you got to learn to speak those things in yourself. You got to be comfortable with knowing who you are. And I'm all that.
All of
period. If you don't know it, okay? That's what I learned. And so, yeah, that's me.
Okay, and then tell them about the book.
Okay, so not only one now. I'm behind. I should have wrote a couple books. I'm definitely gonna write a book after my husband and I finish this journey that we're coming to the end of. I'm gonna write a book. But my Be True to You is a self-help book. Remember I told you I went through a scandal?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote the book. At least I thought, I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to tell my part. I'm going to tell my details because I ain't ashamed of nothing I've been through. So I'm going to tell it all. In the midst of writing the book, he's like, no, you ain't. I was like, I'm about finished, God. He was like, no, you ain't. And so he told me to turn it from a different perspective. Although I told my story, but I also had to own up to my part because ultimately I opened that door. And if I would have never opened the door, I would have never experienced what I experienced. So he taught me how to, the book come to tell you how to take your power back, not let what the enemy say stop you from moving into who God called you to be. And that's to be truthful. So the book is a self-help book to help you get to know who you are and that you can have more confidence in yourself and know that you are not your past.
They can find it.
Amazon. You can find it for Amazon. And I still have a couple books too. I need to reorder some more. But I don't really push the book because it was some editing mistakes that I didn't like. And two, I'm over that.
Get the book, y'all.
Yeah, get the book.
She might be over it, but it might be some tips that can
Most
really
definitely
help you and help you to be true to you.
Yeah, I have people come say, your life, you changed me. Your book changed me. Or your book made me see some things. So it is definitely a great read if I say so myself.
Yeah. Because sometimes we be like, oh, like I do that with sermons. Like I write sermons or whatever, and then later on, like pastor say, bring a word, like I be wanting something hot off the press, like something fresh. Like they be like, you got all them sermons. I'm like, man, that's old. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want something new, fresh right now. Yeah. But yeah, get the book, y'all. I promise you won't regret it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it until next time, because I definitely gotta have you back. And I'm for real. Like I done told people that. In that moment, I mean it, but it's like I'm over that. But no, it's one or two. I gotta go back and get it. But I'm for real about you. Like, you gotta come back.
Are you for real?
I'm so serious about that. See, yeah. See, sometimes it be too true. Okay?
I appreciate it.
Bring it back. Okay.
Sorry.
And I wasn't lying at the time.
I get it.
But it's like,
when you look back over the show, right? You be like, it was not as great as I thought it was. Yeah. My husband be editing the show. He be like, you want to see it? I be like, nah. I wanted to hurry up, be over. And then when the show played, I watch every show because I'm in the comments, so I can make sure I comment to people. I'm like, hey, that was better than what I thought it was. Yeah. Or that wasn't as good as I thought it was. So yeah, I get it. There's some people that I have back on my show, and there's some people, no, you can't. Okay. I be telling Woody sometimes, that's my husband named Woody. I be like, don't air it. He be like, you got to. I be like, no, I don't.
Yeah, I done said that too. Like,
I'm like, don't air it. He was like, yeah, so yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But somebody out there will.
Yeah. Yeah. If one person gets something out of it, it was worth it. Yeah. So yeah. I love you, girl.
I love you too.
I'm trying to tell you, be acting. I'm telling you remind me of a younger me. You do. Yeah.
I'm coming.
Keep in mind, I'm 57, so it took me to come into who I am. Yeah. And I'm still becoming. And you
unapologetic.
Yeah. You still grow. The older you get, the longer you live, there's going to be some things that change. There's going to be some things that you value that you no longer value. There's going to be some people that matter. You be like, who? So yeah, just keep going. You're on the right path.
Yeah, it's just a beginning for me because it's just a beginning for me. There was times where like you like that, like knowing
you do.
Go home and cry. Like man, it's like
really?
Listen, so many things. But listen, y'all, she been so helpful. I'm sure she helped a lot of y'all. So go ahead and like, share, and please subscribe. And till we meet again. That's all.
That's it.
Till we meet again next time. Love y'all.
Love y'all.